Hockey players and hockey families, my name is Lee Elias, and welcome to the Champions Circle. On this episode, we are privileged to have each MVP from the second leg of the Elite Prospects Cup Series, which took place on October 20th to the 23rd of 2022 at multiple arenas in the Pittsburgh area. The Elite Prospects Cup Series is a four-city tournament that has visited Philly and Pittsburgh so far and is now moving to Boston before it all culminates in the championship round in Tampa, Florida, early next year. And the series includes some of the top-ranked teams in 14U, 15O, 16U, and 18U. And we are joined by the MVPs from each division of the Pittsburgh weekend today. Let me introduce you to them. From 14U, we have forward Paul Heintz of the Connecticut Jr Rangers. From 15O, we have forward Nick Girsch of the Florida Alliance. Also from the Florida Alliance, from 16U, we have defenseman Ian Gagnon. And from 18U, we have forward Duncan Stewart of the New Jersey Colonials. Boys, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Congratulations, first off, on being named MVPs.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
No problem, boys. So, listen, Duncan, I'm going to start with you. We sent out a kind of interview questions before the show just to get to know you a little bit. I was really intrigued by one of your answers. You mentioned in your survey that hockey didn't get serious for you until a few years ago when you started having multiple A's after the division you were in. So This is kind of a two-part question for you, all right? When it wasn't, serious, you know what I mean by that. What did you love about it? Was it just the love of the game? Was that important? And then once it got serious, what do you think changed about your approach?
Well, I'd say when I played AA, it wasn't super competitive. It was just a lot of fun. Like, you got to play with some of your best friends, and then once it moved to that next level, became super competitive. Every game was, must win. Like, you got to fight every single game. So that definitely changed the competitiveness, which was a huge jump.
One of the things we talk about, and I talk about this with top coaches and top athletes, is that when you get to the top, right? And this is one of those things a lot of people don't realize. Talent, you have to have it. Okay. Like we all know that you have to have talent to be a top player and some competitiveness. But the one thing that I keep talking about is an extreme love of the game. And it sounds like that when things, again, I'm using quotations for those of you listening, but when it wasn't serious or wasn't as competitive, that's what you were reveling in. You said it, your friends, the game, the fun. How important do you think that love of the game is to allow you to compete at this level?
Well, I said it in one of my other answers for my advice to younger players, like, make sure you're having fun, because like there's really no other point in playing if you're not having fun. Like, what are you doing? So right. I'd say it's super important.
It's a simple statement and it's so true. So all of you players listening, all your parents listening, make sure that that's part of the regime that you're part of, or else what is the point? We are going to come back to what you said about talking to younger players, because I loved all of your answers with that. But I'm going to turn to Paul real quick. Paul, we asked you about team building and what your team does for team building. And you said that you guys do off-ice lifts. You play football, which I love. I think it's important to do other sports, among other things. How often are you and your team together? And how important do you think that off-ice stuff is to finding success on the ice?
Our team, today we have another off-ice lift, but even before practice, in our facility, there's like soccer fields upstairs. So we'll go upstairs, mess around, play some soccer. And it's built the chemistry. I've gotten to know some of my teammates better, and it's shown on the ice. We started passing more, passing faster, and that was a big success to our weekend in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. You're seeing a lot more arenas now have as you said, an upstairs with turf, or the ability to find other ways to do things as a team, right? Let me ask you this question, to maybe youth players, younger players, and yet younger coaches. Do you think that team building is something that kids can start doing at even the mite level? Because I find that a lot of coaches think, well, I can't start doing that till they're 15, 16. I don't agree. So do you think that this is something that should be part of every team, really from the second you put skates on?
Yeah. When I was younger, my team would play like knee hockey or mini sticks in the hotel, get in trouble all the time. It's like stuff like that. Right. Yeah, just messing around with your team, just getting to know them, having fun.
Right. Now, I'll tell you this from experience. The smart hotels anticipate that, and they'll clear a room out. And, they'll know the walls are going to get destroyed, but they'll let the kids play in there. Because let's be honest, whenever you go to a hockey tournament, winning the tournament's a big deal, but winning that mini stick tournament, that's what you actually end up remembering and talk about for years to come. All right. Depending on what stick you were using. Nick, let me throw it to you. Do you and your team do anything off the ice to build?
Yeah, we've done a little bit off the ice. We actually went down to the University of South Florida, I think a couple months ago, and we did a ropes course there. So it
Yeah.
helped build the team. And I mean, me myself, I'm not a big fan of heights, but my teammates they helped me through it, so it was good. Yeah.
Well, look, that's what it's all about, right? Is that, putting yourself in an uncomfortable position with your teammates and then knowing that they're going to have your back, right? So let's just talk about how that transfers to the ice. I love that you brought that up. You have a problem with heights. A lot of people do, right? Your teammates helped you through. How does that transfer to the ice? Because you need them to back you up. Tell me about that, how much you trust your teammates now.
It helps me on the ice because, like I can trust them with if I miss a pass, I can trust them to get back, or if I miss a hit or really anything, I can trust them to back me up or encourage me if I'm like feeling down on the bench.
Right. And do you think, I could put this question across the board, but I'll ask you, you were named an MVP, right? You didn't do that without the help of your teammates. When we asked all of you said, look, I didn't get this by myself. A lot of people, I forgot which one said it, but one of you said, well, look, I made a lot of great assists, but they had to put the puck in the net. Right. So across the board here, right? Like, you don't get an award like this without your teammates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I want to move on to this because we asked again in the little email we sent over, what would your advice be to younger players? And all of you gave unbelievable answers. I'm saying that in a few ways. I'm saying that as a coach, that you gave unbelievable answers, as a player, former player, older player, adultly player, that I'm at that point in my life, you gave good answers. I'm saying as a parent, you gave great answers. And when we think here that the age range here is really 14 to 18, I'm incredibly impressed because the things you said in these answers are not things that we would have said when I was your age. And it gives me hope as a coach, as a person, as a father, but it's also super inspiring. So I'm going to, again, kind of go around the horn here. Ian, I'm going to start with you. You gave a little bit of a longer answer to this question. I'm going to read part of it because it's really fantastic. And this is what you said. You said, realize that people will try and shut you down, whether it's your own teammates or other coaches or other teams. But when they do that, just remember to use it as fuel for anything that you're doing. Finally, make sure that whenever you are on the ice in a game or in a practice, that's important, play your hardest, whether it's during your shifts in a game or when it's your turn in a drill. Always prove that you should be there and use every second of ice as if it's your last chance, because you never know when that last chance will be. That is an incredible answer, man. We talk about this all the time about how greatness is not a sum of the time thing. It is an all of the time thing. Practice, off ice, the way you take the garbage out, the way you eat your breakfast, the way you play the games. This is my question to you, buddy. Where does your drive to be at your best all the time come from? And how do you shut out any negative voices that may surround you?
I think it comes from, so I used to be a goalie a while back, and
God bless
my partner, he like, the coach wouldn't see me how he sees my partner.
Right.
So it really fueled me to push and try to be better than him, so I could prove to my coach that I should be put in that position and in the right position at the right time.
Wow, man. Look, I want to tell you this again, buddy. That is an incredibly insightful answer. Again, you all had incredibly insightful answers in different ways, but I think a lot of young kids, I want to stay on this for a minute. A lot of young kids have problems with adversity today in dealing with it. Now, here's the thing. You guys are all MVPs. You're here because I think you have a way of conquering that. And I want to really make sure we share that with the audience, especially the younger players. So, it's funny you say that, you were a goalie and that you felt that. Personally, I'll make myself vulnerable. I was teased heavily when I was a younger kid. And I didn't know how to cope with it. And once I got help and learned how to cope with it, I had a drive of, you know what? Not only do I want to kind of prove everybody else wrong, although I lost that through the years, I wanted to prove myself right. And I got a work ethic that I just keep with. You all have that, right? So just staying with you for one more second, right? Let's just say there is a kid that's feeling the way you felt when you were that goalie, right? Where do you get the spark from? What is the message you told yourself? They said, you know what? I'm just going to work harder than everybody else.
I feel like it'd be when you would sit on that bench and you'd be watching him play, and it makes you feel like you want to be in that spot and you want to play and have him watch you.
Right.
And sit there and let him and just watch how he does.
Right. Yeah. And you just make a decision in that moment, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here anymore. I'm going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that's an underestimated skill. Paul, let me turn to you. You said, and I love this, you said, don't let your emotions control you. Keep playing your game and keep improving. That's extremely wise advice for someone your age. Where did you learn that? And then how do you practice that?
When I was younger, I would, I also played baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So I would strike out. I would like throw my bat. I couldn't control my emotions. And I don't really know when I started to learn how to control my emotions. So when I was playing, I think it was when I was playing tier 3, we went to states and I didn't really have much help from my team, but I just had to control my emotions, try to help them.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make them look better. And it's just like, it just took me a while to like learn how to control my emotions. And this year, I think it's part of the reason why I've become better. It's just I've like focused on not showing as much emotion. And when you don't play with much emotion, the other team can't really get under your skin.
So, Paul, I want to tell you a few things. I love that you say, well, I finally got under control. I want you to know this. I want all of you to know this. You and everybody listening. There are people that are born, live, and die having never, ever gotten that under control. So the fact that you're doing that as a teenager, all of you, is insane. When I was growing up, emotion was looked at as weakness. And now we're not seeing it that way. We're starting to understand that the way the mind works and the way your emotions work are important. So, Paul, this is the other part of this question. You said it really well. You said, I got them under control. I kind of stay even keeled. But this is the important part that I want everybody to realize. You still feel things, right? You still have emotions. You just know how to channel them. You know how to identify them, right?
Yeah. You just got to get it back in the game. You
Right.
know, someone gets a big hit on you, you get back up and score a goal.
Right.
Then you just like, you just gotta fight back. Can't take a dumb penalty in that spot because it hurts the team. And so you just gotta stay controlled. And even if you can't get a goal back or a big hit back, you just gotta get off the bench and just take deep breaths. Just relax. Your teammates will pick you up.
I love it, man. It's called resolve. I love that you brought up your teammates, that you kind of all have to do this together. And I want to reiterate to the audience here that it's important to feel, but it's important to understand what you're feeling and get it under control. And like you said, move on. You got to move on. This happens in every sport at every level. You're going to make mistakes. In our game, boys, the whole game is based on other people's mistakes. You have to capitalize on other people's mistakes. So your ability to deal with mistakes and move on mentally is a huge skill that you all have. So just moving down, great answer there, man. Duncan, your answer, make sure you have fun and don't get super caught up in everything around you. Just focus on being the best player and person you can be. You talked about this earlier. So walk me through that a little bit, man. Cause again, it sounds simple, right? But it takes years to practice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know the question asks like advice for younger players who aspire to get where you are, but I mean, I kind of shied away from that because I just advice for younger players, like focusing on the best player and person you can be, like as a hockey player. And me personally, in my own experience, I think hockey not only has helped me like improve on the ice and stuff, but it's also helped me become a better player with all those experiences that came along the way, like battling adversity and stuff like that. Just creates character and helps you build who you are.
That is a fantastic answer, man. Like we say this on this show and other shows that I do, create a better person, you'll create a better hockey player, right? And those two things go hand in hand. There's so many life lessons in this game that all of us, including me, have experienced, right? And if you don't take those in and learn from them, not only are you going to not have fun on the ice, you're not going to have fun in your life, right? I can tell you right now, man, losing the puck, giving up a goal, scoring a goal, everything the game provides, injuries, you're going to face those in real life in different forms. And the game, as you said, is a gift that teaches us along the way how to deal with that type of adversity. And then you got to have fun, right? I mean, like if the game's not fun, what are we doing? What are we doing here, right? And again, I know there's times in the games that are not fun. Losing is not exactly fun, but the ability to compete, to get on the ice, to be with your teammates, that's fun. And if you're not enjoying that, we got a problem, right? So yeah, Nick, I want to move to you. What are your thoughts on this, right? Like, to the billions and billions of young kids listening to this, all of you, what's your advice to young players?
For me, my biggest key is confidence, because you've seen some like really good, talented players that maybe lose their confidence. They're not so good. And yeah, it takes talent and hard work, but I think confidence is also a big part in it because once you lose your confidence, it's hard to get back. So just gain that and keep it, and I think you'll be good.
I think that's a great answer. And I think that one of the things we need to improve on, especially at the younger half of the levels, is self-esteem and teaching kids self-esteem, right? And it's not limited to just hockey and the world of social media and everything that's going on. And I know you hear us old people always say, social media is so bad. It's not that bad. We just got to teach people to be self-esteem, right? Or to have self-esteem, excuse me, believe in yourself, which all four of you clearly do. Again, you're all MVPs for a reason. I want to reiterate to everybody listening, because I'm sure some of your teammates are, all four of these young men attributed their success to you as teammates, that they couldn't have been here without you. Guys, I'm not going to ask you what city you're most excited about, because everybody says Tampa to that question. And who wouldn't want to be in Tampa in January, opposed to anywhere else? But next stop on the trip here is Boston. You're going to be at the New England Sports Center, which is, for those of you who don't know, just one of the biggest facilities I've ever seen. I think they have 10, 11 rinks there. The promenade upstairs, you could jog this thing, and you couldn't do it for pregame because you'd be tired, right? So I just want to go around the horn here. I'll call your name. Just tell me what you're looking for from your team in Boston. Paul, I'll start from you.
I actually believe this tournament happens on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Wait. When's your birthday?
December 3rd.
Oh, I'm the 2nd. All right. I was going to say maybe we were the same birthday there, but I'll allow it. Go ahead. Happy birthday coming up.
Thank you. And I've been going to that rink since I don't know when. I played there for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love that rink. A lot of memories. A lot of second places there. Not many first place victories, but I'm just looking forward to being with my team. Staying at probably my favorite hotel there, the Embassy Suites.
Yep.
They have a nice
near the bowling alley and the laser tag and the arcade, right? I know.
That's the nicest knee hockey room I played in.
There you go. See, this goes back to what we were saying. You remember those rinks as well. But listen, I love you brought up coming in second. That can motivate, man. It's a great point. It's a special arena. Keep going here, Nick. Tell me about what you're looking at for your team and yourself from Boston.
Obviously looking for to win out, but also looking forward to just good team effort from everyone and from me. I'm not really looking for goals or assists, just everything I can control, like hard work and attitude, stuff like that.
Wow. Listen, man, that's a great answer. I'm telling you, there's people out there that go, I got to score 50 goals. I forgot which one of you said it, but great players lift up their teammates. They make the players around them great. I can see, Nick, from your answer that you're on a team like that, which is fantastic. Ian, let's go over to you. I love it. For those of you listening, by the way, he's got an awesome press conference backdrop. I love it. That's not shooting down any of you other guys with your backdrops, but you do look like you're in a post press conference from a USA Hockey game. I appreciate that. But tell me what you think about New England.
I love it, especially since I'm from there. I'm looking forward to having a fun tournament and just everybody giving 100% in all the games that we're going to have, and hopefully win some more games and just overall have a great tournament.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this too as a quick follow-up. You're going home, right? You're going where you came from. Whenever I played in Philly, and I got to play all around the world, but there was a little something extra for me when I was back home, not just that my family and friends would be there, but do you experience that? Does it give you a little bit of a boost, you think?
Yeah, for sure, especially playing at rinks that you've grown up around for a while, and then having your old family and friends come and watch you. It definitely pushes you to play harder, and it just pushes you in general.
Yeah, I get it.
Sure.
There's something about it. I'm with you. All right, Duncan, bring us home here. You're going to New England, you're playing in Boston, you're playing with the 50 rinks in that arena. Tell me what you're looking for from your team and yourself.
I mean, for some reason, whenever I play at that rink, I'm always shoved in the back corner, rink 8 or rink 9.
Yeah. Notice everybody, he said rink 8 or 9. There's not many facilities you can say that. Yeah.
Well, I know the past weekend where we were in Philly or Pittsburgh, sorry, we went 1-1-1, I believe. So, I mean, this Boston trip, we're looking forward to, winning some games, hopefully, going 3-0 and then getting boosted up in the standings because we're currently sitting at 6th. So
Nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, just what's cool about that too is, look, you're an MVP and you're here and you just acknowledge your team is not the top, which just shows that the people that are voting on this are not just looking at what teams are succeeding. They're looking for individual performances, team performances, and everything in between. And you got to give a shout out to Elite Prospects for running this Cup Series. It's being done really well, really professionally. The website, which I'll tell everybody in a minute, is I mean, it looks like a league website. Except it's easier to read because there's not 7,462 rankings and teams you don't know. But with that said, boys, I'm going to tell you, look, first off, you did a great job on this. What I wanted to do with these podcasts is not just talk about your goals and your assists and the great plays. I really wanted to provide some value to the listening audience, and I'm going to guarantee you that all four of you did that today. So thank you for that. And say to our audience real quick, again, Boston, as we said, it's the next city on the schedule for all of our guests and their teams. And that round will take place from December 2nd through the 4th. Once again, happy birthday, Paul, during that time, primarily at the massive New England Sports Center. And you can learn more about the Elite Prospects Cup on cupseries.eliteprospects.com. That's the website. I'll say it again, cupseries.eliteprospects.com. So check that out before you get to the next one of these episodes. And for all of us here at the Champions Circle, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you after our next MVPs are selected right back here on the Champions Circle. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Guys, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time.